game. As now we move on to the NFC Championship, guys. Another 3-1 matchup as the Lions play at the 49ers Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll just make it brief because I said it weeks ago. I got the Niners winning this game because no matter who they played in this road to the Super Bowl through the NFC side, I got the Niners because to me, the NFC has been weak this year, and the 49ers are the favorite for a reason. And as long as they take care of business, as they eventually did against the Packers, then the 49ers will be heading back to the Super Bowl for the third time in my lifetime, at least. And hopefully the third time is the charm, just as it was for the Woodland Christian football team that I cover for work that made it to the section title game, the D7 title game. They made it 2 years in a row and lost. Well, they got it done this year, and I hope that the third time is the charm for the 49ers as well, because apparently if you do a little research into that Super Bowl logo color scheme theory, not only does it have the 49ers and Ravens matching up with the red and purple teams going against each other, but I can't remember the guy's name, saw it on Instagram today, but there was this one guy who said, if you look at it, the team with the color on the bottom is the team that ultimately ended up winning. It was the Buccaneers, and then it was the Rams, and then it was the Chiefs. Now, the purple is on the bottom of the Super Bowl 58 logo, so that would indicate that the Ravens are going to win it all. I hope that it's wrong. Anyways, Jaevon, I feel like we all know where you're going to pick as well, so let's hear it. Who you got in the NFC Championship game?
Insert the Shrek gift that I always post in the group chat right here.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, man, this is survive in advance, right? We're here. We're at the NFC Championship. It wasn't pretty, but we're here nevertheless. And I think this will be a great bounce back game for Brock Purdy. There should be no weather inclination that should hinder the Niners in any type of shape or form. Shanahan came out and said, Schefter came out and said earlier today that there's a 50-50 chance that Deebo's going to play. Shanahan came out and said a little bit later than that. We'll kind of have to see where Deebo's at. His status will be, a little bit more clearer Wednesday. But it's looking like he's probably going to play. If I had to bet my money on it, I think Deebo is probably going to play this weekend. Look, I don't think the secondary is as strong as people give them credit for in the Lions. I think they have a great D-line. Aiden Hutchinson going to try and, apply a bunch of pressure on Brock Purdy. I saw in the Lions-Bucks game, that they weren't really getting a ton of pressure on Baker, but they were generating a lot of sacks from like corner blitzes and things of that nature. So Brock Purdy is the best quarterback in the league against the blitz. So I don't think blitzing him is going to be a smart idea for Aaron Glenn. I do think the Lions offense is going to score points. Jahmyr Gibbs and, Amon-Ra All-Pro Amon-Ra St. Brown, got to respect him. And Sam Laporta, guys like that, they're going to, they got a bunch of playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. It's going to be very key for the Niners to get pressure on Jared Goff, as they have done in years past. This offensive line for Detroit has been outstanding. Jared Goff has been able to sit back in the pocket, bake some cookies, watch some TV, and, scroll on Instagram in the pocket throughout these playoffs. So I think it's going to be imperative that the Niners get pressure on Jared Goff early in the game to kind of set the tone, and also to be able to generate turnovers, because we haven't really seen Jared Goff turn the ball over this playoffs as much. So Niners have showed in obviously the Green Bay Packers game that they were able to turn the ball over. And I feel like that's going to be the key to success in this game as well. Be able to force Jared Goff into uncomfortable positions and turn the ball over. Christian McCaffrey is going to have to be able to get going. I think we need to get Brandon Ayuk, all-pro Brandon Ayuk, involved a little bit more. George Kittle is going to be a part of the offense. And as Shaun shows the the Shrek meme that I always post, I am notorious for showing this. I was sending this to Khalil Bunch, my little cousin Momo, who's a huge Packer fan, and to our guy Cass. I send that gift to him a shit ton of times, so he's very, very familiar. Yes, that is Cass in the Niner jersey. However, I just think that those are kind of the keys to the game. Brock Purdy's going to have to not turn the ball over as he didn't do in this previous game. But I think we're going to see a different Brock, the Brock that we all known and loved throughout the regular season. And I think the Niners get the dub. Not sure if they cover the spread, which is 7 points, which is a touchdown right now. I might feel a little bit better based on the Debo news a little bit later in the week, but I do think the Niners get the victory here and advance to the Super Bowl.
All right, Kevin, who do you got in this one? Are you going to be politicking, or are you going to pick who you know is going to win?
So, who does Kevin have to win the NFC Championship? So, we all have iPhones, right? iPods didn't even exist last time the Lions were in the NFC Championship. Text messages were not invented. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta weren't even born yet. Amazon, Google, MySpace, Facebook didn't even exist. The BlackBerry was 8 years into the making. No Xbox, no PlayStation. The last time the Lions won the NFC Championship, you know who was relevant? The fucking Cowboys. So who do I have winning this game? The motherfucking Detroit Lions. Why do I have the Detroit Lions winning this game? I mentioned it. They have weapons on weapons on weapons. Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and now Zach Ertz. You saw this defense get absolutely destroyed by Aaron Jones. And like I've been mentioning, this is the best running backfield in the NFL. So not only do you have to have the smash with David Montgomery, you have to worry about a CMC-like running back out of the backfield because he's going to get a lot of passes. Jahmyr Gibbs not only runs it, but he's a dual threat and catch in the air. Jared Goff he's played against Niners. And let me tell you his stats. 9 games, 1,918 yards, 17 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. So it's looking good, and this offense has been playing well in the playoffs. Put 31 points up against the Bucs, 24 against the Rams, and Ben Johnson is up for head coaching opportunities for a reason because he has been putting an expedition on for play calling, and it's got to continue this. And they're the underdog story. They are the best team, the best story in the playoffs. So why would I pick the Niners after what I just saw Brock Purdy do? I can tell you this: the Lions will catch the ball. So Brock, don't wear the glove. I hope there's not a sprinkle in the sky because you know who's coming back to the Bay? Jared Goff, who for 4 years at the University of Berkeley ran it. So he's not used to losing, and he's going to come in here and win it. They gave up on him, Toddy. You laughing. Shaun can't even believe it. Shaking his head in disgust. The Detroit Lions are going to put not only the first Disney Channel movie of Brock Purdy to sleep, they are going to put the second one, the sequel, and they end the same way, losing in the NFC Championship game. This time, it's at the crib, so it's going to hurt even more. So I hope you guys wear all black. I hope Debo wears the T-shirt about him standing on business. I want Kittle to say it, fuck Detroit, on his T-shirt. I want it all. And I hope you guys aren't losing going into the fourth because I know 0-30, but they got it done.
1-30. 1-30, sir. 1-30. The 1 and 1-30.
But next Monday, it's going to be 1-32, hopefully, because I would love for the narrative to just go right back down the drain. He's waited 30 games for this, and he finally got it. So they're feeling good. But you know what they're saying in Detroit? They got the blue ski mask, and they say, Mr. Irrelevant, yeah, we saw what you did last week. You come in here doing that shit, it's going to be a long 11 months because just like Jalen Hurts, when he gets back from Cancun, we can all go to Vegas for the Pro Bowl together.
All right. I guess we'll have to wait and see when it comes to that. Just circling back real quickly to the AFC Championship game, Uncle Manny said, this is not the same Chiefs team. Lamar and that defense takes care of business. Smooth said, I'd rather play the Chiefs because Lamar is the perfect kryptonite for the 49ers pass rush. That's a fact. So is Patrick Mahomes. I know Patrick Mahomes isn't as fast as Lamar Jackson, but Patrick Mahomes showed that he still can use those legs in Buffalo on Sunday. And Smooth breaks the tie. He says Ravens, so that's 3-2 when it comes to the Stats Over Politics picks. To the NFC Championship game, Uncle Manny says Debo must play and play well for the 49ers to win. Otherwise, it's the Lions. And Smooth says, haters going to hate. So
Well, we won
there you
without
go.
Debo this past weekend, so
He still played,
Sure
but it doesn't
did.
really count without him because the other games he didn't play one game.
Okay. So we gonna
So,
act like
If he
Debo.
suits up,
we're
you
gonna act
win.
like-
But I'm saying, if Debo shows up in a sweatsuit, all black sweatsuit with the speaker, and he's not playing, we've seen 0-3. We've seen we saw you guys lose to the Vikings West stand up. We saw you lose to the Browns. We saw you lose to the Bengals. We were talking about with Josh Allen. History continues itself. And without Debo, it's going to be a long night because Mr. 1,300 yards, $100 winner Shaun on a bet. It's real lonely when it's just him out there. I'm saying it looks real lonely for him out there.
Well, Kevin, which stat do you want to go with? Because you said that the 49ers were 0-3 without Debo earlier this year, but he played in that Cleveland game. They ultimately lost that Cleveland game, but because he got hurt in the first quarter of this game against the Packers, but because he played.
0-2. Okay, I'm
Doesn't
sorry.
matter.
I don't pay that much attention. I just saw the stat and I thought it was 0-3. I didn't know he played the Cleveland game, so you guys are 0-2 without Debo. But I already said it, so I guess you'll be 0-3 now, Shaun. Thanks for correcting me.
You're welcome. And, I'm just wondering which way that we want to actually represent it because, the Niners, they get the job done without Debo against the Packers, but he was out earlier this season. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Anyways, we'll check in with Garry. We'll get his pick. Right now it's 2-1 49ers. But I guess we'll have to wait and see because Garry might be going with the Lions as well. And then we're going to need someone to break the tie again. And that's if Garry does pick the Lions to win this game. Anyways, regardless.